Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European crossover webinar. And bear with me, I'm just pulling up the economic data. Okay, looks like we don't have any European data coming out. So the data will coming up will be in the U.S. session, which will be the jobless claims, Philly Fed at 8:30 Eastern. Also, and we do get Canadian ADP. I didn't even know they even had ADP for Canada, but then at 10 a.m. Eastern, U.S. leading index. These be called the leading economic indicators, and that'll be it. We actually broke lower here in Nasdaq, and I guess also S&Ps would be the case. Yep. Oh, we finally came to that key area, 43.56. Well, right there. I mean, just a little bit, almost at that level. But wow, we came up here and look, we even dropped off lower here. Take a look at the year. The year is not too much weaker. It is weaker, but not a whole lot compared to what I thought it may have been. We'll take a look at that. We're still pressing here lower. Boy, we've really sold off pretty good. Look, we're even past this 14,777. Guess right in here at 14,704, maybe some support. Get some news happen. Nothing happens during Europe. All these Europeans are on holiday, so surprised to see anything happening. So that would come in at 14,711. Yeah, so we're just about there. Take a look here. And we're right here at this 43, just about here at this 43.56, which is key on the SPOs. And 14,680. Yeah, I guess I could make it all the way down there. We do have a little bit of support in here. It's the 723. Right there. This is pretty key getting past that 14,783. So a little bit overdone here, But of course, when people try to liquidate, you just got to get the heck out of Dodge. But this is actually, if we take a look at the S&Ps, key area here at 43.56. Didn't even think we'd get there that quickly, but we are here. So I'm not sure how much more we'll drop here. Certainly that 14,680 is a possibility. And you know, there's always overshoots. We had ordered at 61% here, but that's only for confluence. These markets don't react that much off of fibs. Hang on, at least not equities. On 21. And 14,604. But you can see here, we've got a little bit of a zone in here. So you can see kind of like where your if you were to get long, what your risk is. There you go, right there. So your risk is down to about, not that we couldn't overshoot it, but right around the 680 here. The market is a little bit overdone. And you have to figure also that we've come into this key area, this, which I showed you, the 43.56. We've mentioned that before, and that's been a level that's been key in the past. So we could go and see a bounce in this area here. Below that's 43.58, but we've already dipped. Let's see here. Yeah, we got as low as 55.75. Yeah, 40. We got as low as 43.56 and a quarter. Still volume's not that high. Looking here on the S&Ps. And look at this Nasdaq quite a bit of volume here at 14,750, decent amount at 14,750 on this dip down here. Get a little bit of a bounce here. I'd like to see if we can maybe make one more run down here, and if we hold, might be a little bit of a buying area here in the Nasdaq. Jamie says good morning, and Arif says nice volatility in the indexes. Yeah, boy, a lot of volatility actually. But yeah, pretty key area here. If you look in the S&Ps, this is a key area. You don't see it right here, but 43.56 is key, and beyond that 43.48 if they were to make an extra dip. But 43.56 has been key. You can see that right there. A lot of volume went off. Now you look on here on the chart, you don't really see it as much. It doesn't seem, but 43.56 has been a very key area. Below that, you'd be looking at just a dip below that, be 43.48, and then actually down here to 43.43, right down here, which really can go down to 43.41. But these two areas are very, very key. 43.56 is huge. What I'd like to see is to see this market take one more little dip there, and you might have something there at that point. We should be actually seeing a lot of good little short covering here. I don't see like a whole lot of volume on the SPOOs down here. If we take a look, you see right here, it's not, but then again, this is in European trading. They're all still on holiday. So you're not really seeing like a ton down here. You see what I'm saying? So if this was a lot larger, I'd say, oh, wow, step on in here. Now, I'm sure there's some short covering, but I would like to see this thing go maybe one more dip down here, see if we hold. Then we might be able to get a little bit of a bounce from this area here. And your risk levels on that, you'd be looking at a dip maybe down to 43.48 to see that hold, and risk levels down to 43, essentially 43.41. We'll go back in here. These are huge levels that the market has really respected. Right here. So this is pretty key here. So 43.48, if we can get like a little extra dip here, watch that 43.48 hold, then you probably have a little bit of a buy and see a bit of a bounce. We're still sucking wind down here. See how there's nothing right here. But what here, like I said, you already know you're right here down to 14,680. Maybe we get one more dip, see if they hold, but the S&Ps are in a little bit stronger suit down here. So let's just go and get started with the analysis. We'll actually move that to another screen. I want to be able to keep track of this more actively instead of having it stand in front. There we go. Starting with the euro. We did take this dip down here, and I was even surprised. I mean, that's a little bit. I'm surprised that the euro's even holding up, and the dollar index is not even stronger. But my thoughts were, oh yeah, they may not be able to go and dip too far beyond because look, there's just not a whole lot underneath here. I mean, you have to go a little bit lower to move into something. You see how we got, have to take this dip further. We are at 43.58 in the SPOs. We'd have to go with 1645, and below that is 1621. So let's go 1645. We're at 43.57 on the SPOs right now. If they bounce back, that would be resistance. 1719. Now moving on to cable. We did go and take that dip here in cable, and right now that's going to be support right there. Actually, where we're at 36.88. 36.88. Nasdaq making new lows, and SPOs at 43.56 and a quarter. So on their lows, they're moving lower. There's going to be resistance right there, but that's, we're still breaking lower here. Right there, 37.41. Let's go move into the Aussie. Keep a look at the volume on the SPOs. Support here, and Aussie's going to come in right there. 71.29. Resistance 72.59. Onto dollar yen. It's holding up relatively well. Support's going to be Let's give it some room. We actually tracked on both sides pretty well. That's resistance right there, which is where they have tried to push up their 1022. And support. $8.96. Well, right there. 90. Let's call it 903. Cash dollar index. We're finally pushing up higher. So it's going to be, remember we talked about that, it's going to be 93.52. And 92.90 for support. I don't think we're going to go down there. Then to Bitcoin. Brands there. He said support was broken, but like, well, yeah, but you always get overshoots. You always get overshoots. So yeah, we're if you look at the cable, but that's not the way it stops right there on the dot. You see what I'm saying? Overshoots are just part of the game. You see, so what I do is I try to go with the two touches. So you can see, generally I'll go with the bodies, but if you look on here, the top of this wick and the bottom of that wick right there. So I wasn't going to draw it because more important things are happening right now than just what in FX, which is usually dead. But you see right there. So you're always going to get overshoots because they're going to test it. Plus, even if that is support there, people aren't going to step in and just hold it right on a dime. You'll get some people that their stops are getting taken out. So yeah, 36.88. Yeah, a little bit below, but you see that's when you're looking at right there. You see there? And usually I'll go with the bodies, but you can see the high mark on the wick and the low marker there, right there. Doesn't mean that can't fall any further. Maybe we can break up because things are still breaking lower, but I'm just saying that's an area where you'll see a fight put up. So remember, with the bias chart, although we come very close sometimes even hitting it or missing by a few pips, that's just where I expect the demand to come in, where there's going to be a fight. Doesn't mean it's going to be the low of the day or the high of the day. You can see it's starting to come off of that. If you look here, let's go with the 15-minute. You see how you see 36.86, and look at this low, 36.88. You see, so now they're trying to push the low. You're getting some demand come in, but that's all that is. It's just a demand area. It doesn't mean it's going to be the low area. Well, you want to go with the bodies because I always say the close is the most important. Close open right here. That's put up or shut up time here. But if not, then you try and see where you can see the most touches. And in this case, the nearest touches is going to come with these two wicks right there. That's what I went with that. Let's go going into yeah, so you can see them, you see right there. It doesn't mean there won't be overshoots. You see what I'm saying? So perfect example, we'll have to go back into the other screen. Look at the Nasdaq. You see here, this was supported here, although we're in this zone, but you're always going to get overshoots. See right now, I talked about 43.56 in the SPOOs. Now you see they're at 43.54 and a quarter. They're just a little bit lower. I would like to see them dip down to 43.48, maybe 46. And if it holds there, I may step in and just pick up some SPOOs on a bounce. I'm a little bit leery about picking up the Nasdaq because the Nasdaq has been trading on the weaker side, as opposed to the SPOOs for the last couple of days. Although, as I said, when you're looking here, here's a 61%. Here's a, you can see right here, and I said about going by the touches, you can see right here, you got this body, you got another body, and you're probably hard to tell, and you got a wick. But we also have a zone within a zone. If you look, this is a much bigger zone. You see here, watch. This is a pretty big zone here from 14,586. You see, all in here. This is a pretty good zone. And this is a zone within that zone. You see? So we'll see how much further it can dip. But yeah, then maybe they can hold this even if they get down to 14,680. Let me see Bitcoin, which I could care less about Bitcoin right now. This isn't a day to care about Bitcoin. Okay, see here this holding, same area to hold, upside. We'll just call it 45,250. Oh, we are in a key area. Look here on the daily. You see, but I've already posted that there. So we'll see how much further can overshoot. So no changes on Bitcoin. Except that it's 45. 45,250. Now moving on to ES. Okay, we're 43.56 is key, but we may get an overshoot to 43.48. It'd be interesting because I can see that maybe holding here. If we get that, I think it's probably going to be a good little buy. So for this one, we're going to go with, let's call it, that would be a little bit of an overshoot. Let's call it 43.46 in case we get that overshoot. But it's really 43.56/48, but we may be able to scare them into an extra little dip. Bear with me. We're still breaking low. I'm trying to go and post something, but oh. I'm trying to see if we get this dip here. So I've got 43.48. Let's go right here. Let's go. We can always get a little bit of an overshoot. Yeah, let's go with 43.46 on the up, and on the upside, let's go 15 minutes. Right there, 43.72, 43. It's actually 68.72. Let's just go with 72. 43.72. Let's go to the Nasdaq. If they go a little bit overboard, and see, they're already at a key area here. We'll call it 14,680. We're really overdone here, but we'll go 14,680. Resistance, 14,783. And you see how they're holding? They got below that 56 and they're trying to hold in that area. And like I said, you get overshoots. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see an overshoot, even get all the way down. The next key area is 43.48. It's not 46. I'm just going to call it 48 because that's the real number. But I can see it's overshooting down there. We could even dip as low as 43.43. But once again, I think you'll get a bounce back from that area. Looking at gold. Oh, we're still really holding up really well. Let's just call it 1768, 1790. And crude oil. Looked like this $64 is going to hold, but we did dip. Support right now is 62.86. Resistance is going to be right there. 64. Let's just call it, if we get about 64.52. And there we are. There's that 43.43 I'm telling you about right there. You see that? I guess maybe we're going to try and make a run to that. 43.48 is key, though. 43.43 right there. They may just go on and take a dip down there. Things are getting a little bit spooky down here. Remember on the Nasdaq, this 14.680. We may overshoot that. I just think that right now we're holding around here. Maybe we need these boosts to just dip down here, but you can see that 43.43 is huge. Huge level. That would be a pretty good overshoot. 43.48. This is pretty key. So if they dip down here, they may try and make that stand here. But we've had a pretty good fall already. And there we go. That's the bias chart. We'll get that posted. And thanks for joining us here on the European Crossover webinar.